Okay, it is 8 a.m. I'll call the Finance Economic Development Committee meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Barrow?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Hoffenberger?
Yes. So I guess we have one item on the agenda. So discussion of the sewer payment lien, however we want to word it. Who wants to get started on that?
So from a financial standpoint, it doesn't matter to me who we're writing the check to. I think it's more of a legal question. I know Matt has just concerns about we don't want to have to, he doesn't want to have to track, 50% down to a contractor and then the other 50%, that would be cumbersome. So if we can write one check and then if it's legally okay, then I think we're fine.
Okay, so there won't be an issue with kind of increasing staff time.
As long as the contractor is willing to accept one payment and not the 50% down.
Okay, so I wondered that because when I was thinking through it the other day, it's like, I mean, sometimes it's the case, you put part down, but it's like, they can invoice, the city should have enough time to then pay that. So as long as that's the case, then it should not be an issue.
Not from my standpoint or Matt's standpoint. Oh, I was just saying, not from my standpoint, from a finance standpoint, or from Matt's standpoint. I'm not wanting to speak on your behalf, but.
Yeah, I looked at this, and I think if we have a form that that the contractor and the homeowner both sign, that they understand that the payment's not going to be until after the work's completed and inspected, that the contractor has to sign on to that and agrees that he's not going to get any money until that's all done, that would be acceptable. And that the contract's actually between the homeowners, so we're not getting into any warranty issues or anything else, that it's between the homeowner and the contractor as to that part of it, just we're dealing with the payment part.
So I guess my question then is there any restrictions on that? Is that an option for anyone, or is that come down to the income thing that's been discussed?
Well, currently, it would be tied to the income thing, that's how it's written.
Mhm.
We can do whatever council asks. I would, if there are still additional steps involved, not for every scope there is.
Mhm.
But to open it up, simplify the matter, select a level of, one, for that, automatic eligible, first, and over that.
Are you talking, Matt, are you talking about that 3-panel per,
Yeah, I think
yeah, right.
I think that's for that.
Okay. But we do have the AMI programming.
1 minute, if there's no restriction, I know I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute you're saying there's no restrictions, it's kind of open. Now Matt's saying, okay, it's going to go to how much. So we're back to being the very same it was.
Well, so I think that was just the order that we spoke about things. It wasn't necessarily that was ever changed yet. So we had not discussed that yet, Paula. So, so we're not switching things. We just, so we're not switching things. We just talked about that item first. But my question was going to be, and I'm not saying it should be this way. Obviously, Paula, I think you agree that it should be this way, but does it make it less complicated for it to just be one way? Like one less thing for people to have to be like, oh, wait, am I doing this way or I'm doing that way? I mean, I think part of the issue, this is a super complicated matter, and part of the issue, I think with people feeling overwhelmed is that there are a lot of options because there's so many different things that can happen, or just so many different pieces and parts, like the lateral compared to the inside the work stuff, especially for people who just don't understand how that all works, which is all underground. It's not like a super easy thing if it's not something that you take a lot of time to concentrate on and you have people you can talk to about it. But, so I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if it makes sense or not. But while we're talking about it, and since Paula brought it up, I mean, it seems to make sense to at least ask the question. I don't know, so.
Matt?
So one thing to keep in mind and consider is that we can only write a check back to the contractor for work that's specific to separation of water from
Right.
if people want to have additional things done during that job, we can't cover that in that. It's frequent that people have additional things done. I want my wash.
Right.
I want my flooring repaired, I want things done that we is unable to pay for. You're not necessarily making it more complicated for us, you are making it more complicated for
The contractor,
the contractor
yeah.
and how they bill. And I would caution, you may run into a problem with doing
I
Well,
think,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just think we're really clouding the issue. We all we up here, and I think that most of the city understands that we're paying for the sewer lateral repairs, replacement, whatever it takes. End of story. So the contract, we're going to agree with the contractor, sewer contractors, of here's your scope of work, here's all this work, this is all that's being paid for. And from the study that you have done and the ideas, or your estimates that you already sort of have in your mind, what it should cost based on that particular job, that's pretty defined. You did a good job doing your laterals, if you dig it out, if you have to replace it, if you have to line it, whatever the case is. But I think the contract that they have, the agreement they signed is specifically, you're getting paid to do the laterals, so on and so forth. Any additional work is outside of the scope of what this agreement is not covered by the city.
Well, so I
They
would
sign it.
be inclined to wonder, I mean, if I'm having a plumber come in, and I don't know, I haven't had a lot of plumbers, my husband can do a lot of work half the time. But if I have a plumber come in to do work and it comes to hooking my washer and dryer back up, because that was hooked up before, putting the floor back together, I mean, maybe the washer dryer is something that the plumber would do, but would they put the floor back together, or would you have to get another contractor? Like, say they had to tear up tile and tile needs relaid. I mean, that plumber's not gonna be doing it anyways, right? Are they probably gonna have someone else come in to do that?
Well, generally, what you'll see is, contract, they need other people to, many of them are willing to sub that work out and what their end,
But they're the main project manager, essentially?
yeah.
Okay. Either one, Rick or Chelsea.
Well, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, Paula doesn't need one. No, she doesn't need a mic.
You got a podium turn too. So
Name
my
and
unders-
address?
Pardon. My name is Barbara. My understanding is that before we even get close to any sort of payment, what will be covered either via prepayment or reimbursement is already going to be decided. They got to submit their invoices. The city's going to say, yes, these are the things that are eligible. So that amount's already considered and part of the agreement. So if there is something outside of the work that the city provides anyway, it wouldn't be a part of those initial invoices. It'd have to be separate.
So the invoice is inclusive.
Okay.
Typically, our reimbursement portion is limited.
Mhm.
And yes, that is written out and the homeowner is aware of the top end of allowance. That, I don't necessarily see that, that methodology as being an issue of whether the contractor is willing to take a or to
Mhm.
the contractor there. I hope their willingness, that's all money.
Well, I think it's something we need to be mindful about, because just like with the home buying thing that we still need to discuss, like, we don't want it to cause an issue, or like what happened a few summers ago with the ordinance. All of a sudden you had people price gouging. I mean, we don't want that to happen. So, I mean, it's going to be a very fluid thing. So not like we're trying to make it a point to make changes, but people are going to have reactions that we can't
Yeah, there's going to be time.
know that's going to necessarily happen, or we can't even plan that, oh, this will happen. It might not. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, it does, it makes it more complicated for the homeowner and the contractor, but that's on their side, that's not on the city's side.
And the invoice should be broke out, right? For each item.
What's going
So-
to be covered will already be authorized.
Yeah, the items and what the cost is associated with it, and then, so it's gonna come down to, yeah, how the contractor feels about the homeowner writing a check for number 1, 2, and 5, and the city writing the check for 3, 4, and 6, and 7, or whatever, yeah.
So how many different ways right now are there to actually get payment to the contractors, according to our program? 2. And could you explain the advantages and disadvantages of both?
To manage,
Like from the city's perspective?
No, just from, yeah, I guess, well, for all sides. Like, what would be the advantage of having the citizen actually pay for it and not have to have it reimbursed by or have them reimburse them instead of the contractor?
the advantage that is just in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Okay. And if we were to go to just one way, which would be just to have the city reimburse the contractor, does that complicate things? So the question is, do we really want to take the option away from the citizen to do it that way, right? Isn't that what we're kind of discussing?
No, we're not taking the option away from them wanting, I mean, if they want to pay it, but
So you're saying that you wanted to simplify this to having one way of doing it. So if you're doing that, then you're taking something away.
Isaiah?
Have options.
Yeah, so typically this is almost like an insurance case. A lot of times when there's an insurance claim, a contractor actually has to wait to get paid anyway. So a lot of contractors already deal with this on a regular basis if they do insurance claims. So I don't see this as being a really big deal, as in they're getting the money, within a week or 2 or 3 weeks after the job is done. The biggest thing is a lot of the residents can't afford to pay up front. So that's the anomaly of, it would be a fluid situation for a homeowner and a contractor to go into an agreement and be paid, boom, boom, done, and then get reimbursed. They just can't afford it up front. That's the biggest issue.
yes, Rick.
We just got our first bid. We have 3 things that need to be fixed in our basement. We have a finished basement. Once they do the sub pump installation, I have to go back and fix the flooring, which is not a problem. We also have to have a pipe, our stack pipe replaced. I asked them to give me 2 different quotes. And I asked them at the time, would it bother you if I paid you or if you got paid 2 to 3 weeks later? And this is with T&J. And they said it made no difference to them.
So can I ask, like, what you said, 2 different quotes? Like,
Yes.
one with it all bundled together and one with it separate, or what, can you be
One
more
that the city
specific?
will pay for, period.
Okay,
And then the other work on
Oh,
a
they-
different invoice.
yours.
Yes,
Invoice for you, invoice for the city.
right. And
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, does it matter to you? Yes, I'll pay you for what I need to have done.
Right,
Would you wait a couple of weeks for the city to pay him? He said, no, there's no difference in it.
okay.
And they're a big contractor. I mean, they're the ones that are getting a lot of these estimates. So I don't see any problem with the city doing a direct payment to them after the inspection. You rotate it on, what, a 3 to 4 week cycle? and they get one check a month with the addresses attached. Now, is that hard to do for finance?
No.
I didn't think so. So, you know, that's the easiest way. There's one paper trail, one way to do it, and a good way to make sure that we have oversight on it. Then you don't have this reimbursement and people sticking other things in and so on and so forth. So,
So then that would speak to what, essentially taking away the option that Josh was talking about, the homeowner being able to pay for it?
Right.
Is that, okay.
right. 'Cause
Once again, early, Paula, I'm trying to,
our first bid was almost $4,000.
okay.
Could I swing that?
You can make it work, yeah.
I could make it work. But then I look at my neighbor lady 2 doors up who, I mean, she's just on a fixed income. Could she swing it? No, I don't think she could. In the spirit of the meetings that you were involved with CMAQ, when we discussed all of this, this option was brought up, and Patrick seemed to be in favor of it. And I think everybody at the table that day was in favor of it. And yes, you have to have some kind of signature piece. You got to, I understand that.
Well, it sounds like that's covered, that's doable according to Alan, so,
It's a simple document. You will wait, and if the city doesn't pay, then I have to pay. I mean, it makes it simple. Does it, Matt? Does it make it easier for you?
I don't know about easier, but I don't have an issue.
so, I mean, what I'm hearing overall is, it doesn't seem to be a legal issue. It seems to be the preference of at least the residents here, and it doesn't seem to be an issue from finance. The only not made up, but we're not sure of factor is how the contractor is going to react. So, I mean, it seems to me we can make a decision that, you know, the city can directly pay. The contractors need to know ahead of time that the city's only paying for the things that make sense. They need to item that out. And, you know, they might get the homeowner's payment earlier, and then the city's is going to be after. So then we just have to be prepared for down the road if we have issues with contractors having problems with it. I mean, is that a good recap? Go.
Yeah, so as of right now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of contractors that work in Maumee are already playing the waiting game, just getting permits, because it takes forever to get permits. So they already know half the time that, all right, we're in Maumee, it's gonna take a little bit of time. So that's just part of the scope of working in Maumee. And it's not just, Maumee is probably one of the worst ones right now. There are, like, Wood County takes a little bit of time too, and so does Toledo, but it just, to get a permit here, and then to get a second inspection on something that was flagged could take 3 to 4 more weeks, and it slows jobs down. So this is not really an inconvenience whatsoever. They have to wait a couple weeks or whatever, you know, in the grand scheme of what a contractor has to deal with in Maumee, you know, as of the last, like, 6 years.
Matt, is that true about takes 3 to 4 weeks for inspection, and somebody had to come back, it's weeks and weeks more?
That's not my department. That would be building and inspection. I don't know why it's taken so long. I don't know that.
Okay,
I've heard that from other contractors, but I don't know.
we can look
As
into
have I.
that. We can look into that and make sure we can
All the
put
time.
something in that arena. Right, well, let's try
Okay.
and fix it.
Okay, so are those the main things we needed to? So we talked about, like, I'm looking at some of the things that, you know, John, you had sent. And so that's removing the debt to income thing. So that's, and I don't know, when does it make sense to talk about the new homeowner buying? Like, I was wondering this the other day. Is that something we need to do in committee of the whole, Alan? Is that like a finance meeting subject?
I thought that was going to be part of that discussion, excuse me, Alan. I thought it was going to be part of the discussion with the panel put together, but go ahead.
They were supposed to be an appeals board, though, so.
Well, a whole lot fell under that all of a sudden, though. Sure.
Oh, it's not anything I've heard about, so it doesn't make sense to me, Alan,
It should probably be like committee of the whole.
committee of the whole. So we need to add it to committee of the whole, okay. Okay. Anything else that we need to cover? Phil? So what I heard is that the city has no issue with paying the contractor directly. An invoice gets submitted, everything needs to be itemized, so everyone's aware of what the items are that the city will cover and the items are that the homeowner's responsible for. The city will get the invoice and cut the contractor a check. So the contractor needs to be aware that they won't be getting a 50% down. It's going to be one payment at the end, which, according to Isaiah, which I feel like I've heard that as well, like when it comes to insurance payouts, that's how it works. Am I missing anything? Oh, and then the debt to income. So are we, I guess is the matter, is this an option for everyone? So that's what I was saying about simplifying things, Josh. Like, do we simplify it and everyone has that option? Because before we were putting one of the requirements on, according to what you got paid, is whether the city will pay for it for you or whether you need to pay for it and then the city pay you back. So I guess that's was what I was speaking to when I came to simplifying. Like, if no matter what the items on the invoice, the city's going to take care of, I mean, that's going to be a part of the grant determinations, which has nothing to do with the invoicing. I mean, that's going to already be determined with the grant. So there's no reason to have then that level as the only way that you're allowed to have the city pay directly the contractor. So that's what I was saying, Josh.
I'm sorry, you kind of ramble. I don't.
So
know
there's
what you're
no, so there's income requirements for the grant. But we've been talking about, in the past couple meetings, there being income requirements and that determining whether the city would pay the contractor directly or not.
Well,
So that made it
Before the work was
too,
going to be done, just clarify that, because that's the part you're missing, Josh. If a person didn't have the funds to pay the contractor because of an income level, the city would, I think originally it was just show them, they'd have to show you the copy of their 1040 to show, okay, you're definitely in need of that, okay. And then you're going to get, that agreement was going to be with the contractor directly, so they didn't have to figure out how to pay for something they didn't have the money for. This is taking that all away.
yeah, we're talking about streamlining it.
Yeah.
So that whether your income, I want to verify with Jennifer and Matt.
Well, to clarify, so as part of the grant application, they would still need to supply their
Yes.
40 and all that.
Yes.
That's not, supplying that's not going away.
No, because that determines whether they qualify for the money or not, right?
Yes.
But it seemed like in past meetings when we talked about it, we were also going to have to show that to see whether or not the city would pay the contractor directly or not. Because, I mean, that's been past conversations. But are we talking now like that won't be the case? They can just pay, it doesn't matter the income level?
I would like, that, in order to get people qualified right now, you need the debt requirement. That is, it's cumbersome for the homeowners and
Well, it seems a little repetitive if that's already happening to determine whether they qualify for grant money
more, it's much more.
beyond the grant money. Okay.
Yeah, it's more detailed and more invasive, and it hurts the homeowner, I think.
So everyone's in agreement then that it makes sense that we do not do that as long as it's been determined under the grant process that they qualify for a certain amount of money, that when the invoicing comes, the city will pay those items, pay for those items directly.
Yes, we'll just need a form for the contractor.
Sure, to sign off on. Yep.
I like that.
John?
To follow up on that, Medicaid, you said, well, we paid for it, gonna manage it. No, that doesn't need to happen. The homeowner can manage, still, soup to nuts, stuff, that way you're not burdened with having to follow up. The original agreement stated if the city was, the homeowner would still manage the property. I think it needs to be.
Correct, we verified that, through Alan verified that was, the concern was that it was, that if we were paying for the cash flow and charge, we worked that
Well, and then there will be the city coming out to do a finalization because they're going to have to inspect, right? Right, yeah. Okay, Paula, you have one more thing?
Yeah, I got one more question. Sometime when we've been talking here this morning, there was a mention of another paper that needed to be signed by the homeowner and the contractor.
Well, that's just, that,
We have that already. Is that in with our packet of information? Or is this something new that we need to get? Because we're in the process.
I thought we already had that paper.
No.
We don't?
We have to develop that.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought, so I thought I better ask before.
No, that's good clarification. So that's still a form that needs created. Well, because people are doing the work, so,
We're, I mean, we'll honestly would need a week to develop it, make sure that what we write is
Legal.
legal and fine, we'll be able to issue those, but I think
Go ahead.
Ask us from the mic.
thank you, Gabe, since I was looking down.
Well,
So I just want to be clear.
Yeah, I was writing notes. I'm sorry, Phil.
I just want to be clear. So we're saying there's going to still be two ways to pay. If somebody wants to pay it up front, write their own check to the contractor, they can do that. Okay, and if somebody else says, I want the city to pay regardless, no strings attached, okay, the city will pay. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, because either way, they're going to submit an invoice
I
and.
admit it, but it's this idea of kind of going back to the two prongs. There are the two pathways to get it paid. You can pay it yourself and then get reimbursed from the city, or if you just come and say, hey, like what the kind of people that Isaiah was talking about, they say, hey, I don't think I have the funds. We're going to say, hey, you can just tell us you want the city to pay. You can take that track. You're going to have to get your contractor to sign the form that Alan's talking about, and then the city will take care of that. Because the most important thing is to get people to trust us and say, hey, we're looking out for your best interest.
Well, and
and
that-
by making it available, both ways, no questions asked, if the city will pay for it, that alleviates anybody's cash flow concerns, I think, and more people are going to say, okay, I'm ready.
Well, in that case, then the homeowner wouldn't have to sign that form and the
Right, they wouldn't have
contractor,
to.
because they're going to pay it directly.
I get it, but
And
it's-
then the city will just reimburse.
But there's two separate ones, because like when Josh was saying about the simplification, we're not talking about, oh, the city's going to pay for everything.
Yeah.
We're leaving both of those options open, because there's people out there that they'll pay it. They'll say, I can get reimbursed, that's just easy enough for me. But
Yeah.
those who can't should need to know then, and they will, if this is what that decision was real soon, that, okay, your big concern, we're taken care of. No more
Yeah.
hoops to jump through.
And the simplification is just removing the qualifications
yeah,
from
that debt
income,
income,
from paying the contractor part of it, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just a quick question. Is that because, do they use equipment at the end of that? Is everything within that 30 days or is it
Good answer, Matt.
You made her happy. Okay, so is that cover it all? Do we think we got it? We'll have committee of the whole to talk about some other thing. It's going to keep coming up.
What
So,
does the motion need to be?
do we need to change, does something officially need changed in that document now, after this conversation?
Alan?
It seems like it does, some clearing up. So,
Well, we never adopted that, the 43% thing. We never did
Well,
adopt that.
the presentation says conditional waiver of lien still, right? And that's,
right, so that needs updated. So we can make a motion to update the sewer presentation or parameters accordingly to reflect what we said today, so. Is that sufficient?
So that'll be our recommendation to council.
Yes, so make a motion to recommend to council an adjustment to the, what do we call it, sewer program presentation?
Program, yeah.
Sewer
Resident-
remediation program
Residents have the op-
presentation,
Residents have
mouthful.
the option to pay directly or have the city do it through through the format laid out with the contractor's authorization form and the city's authorization form.
Do we need to have
That's
this
it.
written out specifically for, you
No.
got that, Casey?
She hasn't stopped writing poorly.
So I made that motion. Does anyone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Barrow,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kloppenberger.
Yes.
Move
All
to
right, so
adjourn.
that is the one and only item on the agenda, so.
Move
take a
to
motion.
adjourn.
Okay, Josh, motion to adjourn.
Second?
Gabe, second. Call the roll?
Barrow,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kloppenberger.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, that was pretty quick and painless. Like way down the road somewhere, like Eric. That's what I hear all the time. He's a super nice guy, though. I met him when I was campaigning. He's super nice.
That wasn't even in there?
Yeah.
I don't really understand what we did.
I hear, I've never heard anyone say a negative thing about him, and a lot of people. Stupid. Well,
Do you know he passed this year?
he's very nice. Like, he's just a nice guy, and everyone I talk to says he's just a really nice guy, and when I talk to him, he's always so nice. Like, he was talking to my mother-in-law at, like, one of my campaign things, and they essentially figured out that, so the Puffenberger family has, like, a fallout, and like, Eric's family's the Catholics, stayed in Tiffin, and then, like, Judge Puffenberger's side were the Protestants. They moved to, like, Fremont or Fostoria. Yeah, I went to Calvert. And, no, I went to Seven Keys in Attica. But he's like, yeah, and they moved